Now, the Vatican press office has indicated Pope Francis will be in attendance for Easter Sunday events. He's expected to appear on the balcony at midday for the Urbi et Orbi address, the most important Catholic event of the year. But with his ailing voice and trouble breathing, it's not yet clear whether he will deliver the speech himself. Meanwhile, US Vice President J.D. Vance met senior Catholic Church officials on Saturday. And we're joined now by our Rome correspondent, Seema Gupta. Seema, thanks for joining us. Very important this day for the Pope, of course, and this address that he may or may not be giving.
Yes, exactly. I mean, this is the first time in the 12 years of his papacy that the 88-year-old pontiff hasn't participated in very significant events in the lead up to Easter. This is a very important, solemn period for the Catholic Church, for the Vatican. Let's not forget, it's the Jubilee year as well, the Jubilee Holy Year, with thousands of pilgrims coming to the Vatican and coming to Rome. And it's almost been a month into the 2 months of convalescence that the doctors have prescribed to Pope Francis after he spent 5 weeks in a hospital here in Rome dealing with double pneumonia, and where he also risked death. So he's still undergoing respiratory physiotherapy as well as other treatments to deal with his ailments. So there is concern for his health, but clearly the Pope, we've seen him over the last few days making these surprise appearances. He was not at the Easter Vigil service at St. Peter's Basilica on Saturday, but he did turn up at St. Peter's, taking part in some silent prayer and also greeting the pilgrims there. So clearly for him to be close to the faithful is very important. We've seen that throughout his papacy. The Vatican has said that he really hopes to attend the service on Sunday, Easter Sunday, and at least participate in that important blessing, the Urbi et Orbi. That's the message to the city of Rome and to the world, where they talk about hot spots and conditions with people and Catholics around the world. Maybe someone else will read it, as it's hard for him to speak, and he will bless those in attendance. We just have to see. It's been a series of very different surprise appearances for the Pope over the last week. So what will happen on Sunday? All eyes really on that balcony at St. Peter's Basilica and at St. Peter's Square.
And among the pilgrims you mentioned there, if you like, are J.D. Vance and family. Is he still there waiting to see if he'll get a meeting with the Pope?
Well, J.D. Vance is a Catholic convert. Important for him to be at the Vatican. He's expressed joy about the Good Friday service he attended. And yes, on Saturday, he did meet with the Vatican's top diplomats. Now, there are clearly clashes, if you like, or differences of opinion between the new U.S. administration and the Vatican, particularly on the issue of migration. Now, the Vatican released a communique at the end of that meeting he had with senior Vatican officials, saying that there was an exchange of opinions on international situations around the world, as well as particular attention on migrants, refugees and prisoners, and that they hoped for a serene collaboration between the state and the Catholic Church in the United States that has been providing a valuable service to the vulnerable. Now, to put that into context, the Trump administration and the Vatican on opposite sides on how to help and deal with migration. Mr. Vance himself has criticized the U.S. Catholic Bishops' Conference, saying that they were motivated by financial interests to deal with the refugees. The bishops pushed back on that, and they have said that the cuts that the administration has put to foreign aid as well as welfare programs in the United States really have affected programs that they are doing to help these migrants and refugees. But clearly, the Vatican wanting to play that very fine diplomatic line. The Vatican used to dealing with people that they may have differing opinions with. They've said for the most part, those talks were cordial. But Cardinal Parolin, the Vatican #2, whom Vance met on Saturday, did give an interview to an Italian paper and said that the approach of the current U.S. administration is perhaps different from what the Vatican is used to, and particularly on the issue of Ukraine, said that peace cannot be imposed on Ukraine. That has to come slowly and patiently. So clearly, differences there, but they tried to stress that the talks were cordial. As to Mr. Vance, it's still unclear as to where he will be celebrating Easter this Sunday. He is still here with his family, his wife and 3 children. We'll have to see whether he does get that meeting with Pope Francis that apparently reports have said he is still hoping to get that photo op with the Pope. We'll have to see if the Pope turns up at that service. Clearly, many are hoping that he does. And in fact, as I mentioned, the Vatican itself has said he's hoping, depending on his condition and his health, that he will be present this Sunday.
At the very least, as you saw in those pictures, he got a private tour of the Sistine Chapel. Thanks for that, Seema.